a scientist.
Suffice it that the blood of 1,000 men and women was spilled within these walls. Limbs twisted and broken, eyes gouged from bloody sockets, flesh burned black.
Please. You'll wait for death. In death, there are no accidents, no coincidences, no mishaps, and no escapes. What you have to realize is that we're all just a mouse that a cat has by the tail.
The number you have reached, 911, has been changed to a non-published number.
Warning, the following show contains conservative posturing, radical Christian ideas, and may offend pagans, Wiccans, Islamic fundamentalists, and other unenlightened individuals. Callers and guests may be subjected to brash and offensive comments by the hosts and any other type of bullying tactics available. But that's okay. We know why you're here.
This concludes this test of the emergency broadcast system.
Tonight is August 31st, 2014.
And hello, those of you that listen to World of the Unexplained.
We know who you are.
I apologize. I can't hear myself very well, Chuck. Okay. Anyway, yeah, that's much better. Much better. Okay. So, anyway, we were promised that we would have Adrian Paul on tonight, and we've been trying to get a hold of the person that was our contact for him. That's why we've been playing music. We've been unsuccessful. Last we heard from him was around 3 o'clock this afternoon. So, that was supposed to happen tonight, and we had it lined up, but I don't see that happening at this point in time, and I apologize.
And it's radio, so you can't see me scowling.
Scowling.
We're all scowling. Well,
barking at
Dee's
the
not
moon.
scowling. Dee and Chuck are fairly happy-go-lucky people. But
I don't know. I got a half scowl on right now.
yeah,
Half scowl.
Well,
Teen Wolf.
I'm at half scowl.
He's in Teen Wolf mode, too, man. He's mad.
Yeah, maybe like a sneer, a sneering scowl.
The hair is growing out. The claws are coming in.
It's
this
what
ain't no
happens when
Michael
he's
J.
mad.
Fox you're dealing with here, boys and girls. So anyway, that being said, we do have a new studio that we're going to be moving into probably here in another next couple weeks. But we'll still take your calls here if you want to give us a call. Open mics, open topics, open lines, 877-722-7382. And that's 1-877-SCARE, the letter U, the number 2, if you want to give us a call in if you're listening tonight. We'll be happy to talk about any topic that you want to talk about.
Poetry slams, poetry slams, poetry jams,
I'd prefer to keep it in the paranormal
poetry.
Or we can even talk about, whatever you want. Politics, prophecy, the supernatural.
Political paranoia.
I just subquoted one of the subtitles for L.A. Marzulli's book.
That's true.
But,
You've been watching a lot of that stuff lately.
Oh, yeah. So, there goes my cell phone. I wonder if this is who we've been trying to get a hold of here. No, it's not. Someone just
You should call them. You should answer the phone right now. And
it's not that person. So yeah, it's apparently I've been featured in a bitch strip. So that's what that notification was for those of you out there that wanted to know. Yeah. So anyway,
I don't even know what that is.
Oh well, you need to get on the internet more, D. Get on the internet. Get on Facebook more. So anyway, I just got back from one wonderful week in St. Martin. It was pretty cool. I'm sunburnt.
Yeah. You do look a little red.
I am, man. Yeah, I'm red man. Yep. Yeah, man. It was fun. Drove around the island. It's French side and the Dutch side. I stayed on the Dutch side. So it's spelled S-I-N-T space M-A-R-T-E-E.
M-A-A-R.
Oh, that's right. M-A-A-R-T-E-N on the Dutch side. So went there, went over to St. Bart, hung out there, saw where Madonna rents her summer home for the week for $25,000.
And then you told me that
Sylvester Stallone rents a summer home just down the road from that one on the hilltop at St. Bart for $15,000.
That's crazy. Why the extra $10,000?
Reasonable though, actually.
I'm sure. Yeah,
it really does. Yeah.
But it's pretty wild. Very clear ocean, very blue.
Did you see any stingrays?
I did not.
What about dolphins?
I did not.
Jellyfish?
Nope.
Sharks?
Nope.
What is
saw iguanas.
Any kind of fish at all?
I saw some swimming towards me that I could not identify, but yeah,
So some
in the ocean.
So they could have possibly been sharks or porpoises. What about porpoises?
I didn't see any.
Whales?
No.
It's hard to see with a Canon.
Goblin
I
sharks?
did see some tarpon.
Oh, so there's some turtles running around or swimming around.
Fish. Tarpon.
Oh, I thought you were saying tarpon. Oh, I'm sorry.
Tarpon.
For you, those of you who don't know, this is Southernism. It's terrapin, basically, but it's a land-based land-based turtle, which was a little strange because if it's down there, it's not land-based and it's not in the south.
Well, apparently there's a lot of snook and tarpon in the salt
Snook?
lakes. Yeah, that's what they're called. But apparently, yeah, they're
the
a lot
snook
of,
and tarpon.
And then one of the friends that went with me, he brought his fishing pole and actually fished out in the some little salt ponds around there from the land.
Describe to me what a salt pond is.
It's just it's not in the sea. It's just a pond that's in the middle of it kind of feeds into the sea, I guess. And so I just called it a salt pond. It's part of the ocean. So,
Yeah, like a lagoon kind of a thing.
Kind of, yeah.
Well,
so he fished in there. He got like 3 bites on it, lost 3 of his baits. And that was it. They were only biting on one type of bait, apparently. And I don't remember what it was called, but he finally found what they were going to bite.
Right.
When you drop it in, they grab it and run. You'd
terrible.
be zzz, taking off.
What about sea urchins?
I didn't see any, no.
Starfish?
No.
The water's so clear, and yet there was nothing in the water. That's what.
Yeah, I mean,
All
that's,
the people?
yeah. We
You
were,
think maybe the people scared them off, or the airplanes, or something?
I don't know. It was a fun trip though. It was a good relaxing vacation. I needed it.
A lot of poverty down there.
There is, yeah.
People living in shacks.
Actually, next week I'm going to be in Las Vegas.
Damn you.
There's a lot of poverty there too, but you don't see that.
But the ISIS has now targeted Las Vegas as one of their targets. So
Everybody looks like Gary Glitter.
Hopefully that won't happen while I'm there. If hopefully it wouldn't happen
That
at
would be
all.
really
but
really crappy, man. If like you're there and then it's a terrorist attack.
yeah, that would suck.
You know what? You could go. You better bring your recording equipment and just you're
Go live.
You're right. You're
For WOTU,
out in the field.
WOTU correspondent.
Right. Yeah, we'll get together up here and we'll have a very special live feature presentation.
I'd be too busy killing some terrorists.
Well, I mean, you could be all like John McClane,
Yeah, that's right.
but now we have like you can run
Some
around with
theme
your
music.
right, your cell phone,
Yeah. Play the theme music from my cell phone.
right.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what is the theme music to Die Hard. Is there theme music to Die Hard?
There's a lot of Christmas music in Die Hard because need
happens
not
around-
forget Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
Yeah, in fact, I think okay. It's a family film.
It's a Christmas film.
Now I have a machine gun too. Ho ho ho!
Exactly.
And the yippee ki yay. I mean, all the kids were saying that.
That's right.
In elementary school.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
And any blonde kid got beat up.
Because they reminded them of Hans.
Well, Hans Gruber wasn't blonde, but I mean,
Close enough, man.
The brothers.
He's Norwegian or something.
No, he's
Russian,
German.
I don't know.
He's German, man.
They're all the same.
No, they're not. Not even close, man. Yeah, well, because there's the 2 blonde brothers. They looked a little bit like Garth.
Yeah.
But like a meaner, tougher, more muscular version of Garth with guns.
Like Garth from Wayne's World?
Yeah, Garth from Wayne's World.
Yeah, definitely.
Because that one dude, he had glasses on.
That's right. So he's Garth.
I wonder if Garth actually got the idea from that guy from Die Hard. It's like, oh, that's a good look. I'm going to, David, whatever's Dana
877-722-7382.
I like being cut off
lines.
like that. I really do, Scott.
From the east of the Rockies.
Man.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so tomorrow is a holiday. So what are you guys' plans? Are y'all working? Chuck, are you working?
I am working all day long in
Y'all having some kind of
Midtown.
awful sale probably, right?
Yes.
Okay. D, you working?
I'm working at home.
No, working at home. You always work from home.
Yeah.
Trent, you working?
I'm probably
You're
going
off,
to
aren't you?
wander around some graveyards
Okay.
and
Take pictures.
wearing black, and I'll smoke clove cigarettes
Okay.
and read Albert Camus.
There we go. Interesting way to spend your holiday weekend.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, no, wait, it's Labor Day, so I have to, me and my proletarian buddies are
Y'all gonna get together.
Right, we're going to, nothing to lose but our chains, comrades. Tavarishi. Gnasa. I know how to say comrade in 2 different languages.
That's great.
Yeah, it's Tavarish. That's the Russian, and then Gnasa is the German one. So just
you
in
actually can
case.
say it in 3 languages because English, comrade.
Oh, right. You're right.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say it in French. Frere Labor or something, Brothers in Labor. I don't know. What is the history of Labor Day anyway? Why do we have a Labor Day?
Because
I don't
know the history of Labor Day.
Chuck, you're usually pretty good about this stuff. Why do we have Labor Day?
I don't know. I can find out.
Yeah, okay.
On the internet.
We've got Google.
No. You need to use Lycos. I'm sorry. This Lycos is not even.
I think it actually has to do though with like unions actually.
Like what?
I think it has to do with unions.
Unions. It probably does have its history in unions.
Oh,
they're
maybe
so
so.
helpful to the economy.
Well, they were at one point in time.
Yeah, at one point I think
They
were
had
good-
their
good thing,
advantages.
yeah. Now they've just become terrible things.
Like everything else in life.
Yeah,
Dead weight.
that's it.
Dead air.
It's just the dedication to social and economic achievements of workers.
Oh,
Comrade.
yeah. Tavares.
Tavares. Yeah, I'm just going to end every comment that I say or anybody says with comrade. Let's try that out, Scott.
I mean, essentially, that's what it is it's the antithesis of, well, not May Day, but I'm sure they have something else that's very equivalent to it over there.
Yeah, I want to say they have International Workers' Day, and it's in April.
International Workers' Day.
Yeah, comrades.
Comrade.
Yeah,
The worker party.
comrade.
I'm going to end everything I say with in bed.
Comrade.
In bed.
Oh, my God. That's that Beatles song. Come on, keep your comrade warm.
In bed.
Back in the USSR.
In bed.
Comrade.
In bed.
No, we have to actually say real lines.
Oh.
Go ahead. Well, I just said a line, so you could just,
Chuck, that shirt looks very nice on you in bed.
comrade.
At least it's on.
True, so true.
Comrade.
In bed. Oh, me. Okay, we obviously have nothing to do at all. Yeah.
I wonder if there's any kind of paranormal stuff relating to Labor Day.
I wonder if there's anyone listening to this program.
I wonder if anyone
If
could
they
borrow.
came here for Adrian Paul, they're going to be sorely
Seriously disappointed.
Maybe I could. Oh, I don't know. We're so sorry. I mean, that's really what it comes
We're
down
very
to.
let down as well.
Yeah, it's
Crushed.
really. I mean,
We've for weeks we have been
yeah,
looking
exactly.
forward to this.
Double crushed. I'm double crushed.
weeks.
I mean, obviously, Scott. I came in kind of crushed, and now I'm doubly crushed.
At least the one time on the other show when we had we had booked Chuck Norris. You remember that?
I remember that.
At least we ended up with a guest in the end. It wasn't
Yeah,
Chuck
it
Norris.
wasn't Chuck Norris, but it was
the
Chuck's
guy who
spiritual
wrote for him.
advisor. Yeah.
Really, he had a spiritual advisor.
Yeah.
That was his
He
neighbor.
talked to his pastor.
His next door neighbor.
Yeah. But I
His
mean,
next door neighbor was a spiritual advisor.
and he came on and talked to us
This is
about
Chuck Norris.
Yeah, about
Chuck Norris has
Norris.
a next door neighbor
But
spiritual
we
advisor.
did book Chuck Norris originally, and Chuck was going to show. We thought he was going to show up.
Yeah.
We were severely disappointed when he didn't. When he sent some lackey in his place.
Oh my gosh, really? Really, comrade? I thought we were comrades, Scott.
We are, man.
I just
thought that was colorful.
It was. He's insulting my name. I get used to it. Triply crushed. I tell you what, I'm just going to stare at this wall for a minute.
All right. So 877-722-7382. I uploaded the Reverend Aaron Long interview today.
All right, finally.
I did it today.
Finally.
I edited it and put it up there.
Well, he was on vacation.
Yeah, I was on vacation for a week, so
Oh,
They'll do it.
Yeah, but it's up there today. As of today, I had one download when I last looked at it, so
Cool.
it's probably had a lot more.
yeah.
But yeah,
That's cool.
President Obama needs to take care of this ISIS thing.
You think so?
Yeah, I think if he doesn't do it, I think it will be coming to America. What are your thoughts on that, Trent or Chuck? What are your
It's a
thoughts?
serious pan-Arab situation. I mean, they've been talking about this going on for years.
Yeah,
And for him to say he doesn't have a plan for it this last week,
yeah, that was very
it's pretty
bad.
ridiculous.
It was just it's an open invitation at that point. I think
I'm
especially when
sorry.
you don't police the borders.
Yeah, because all of a sudden he looks weak.
Did you see the guy that wore the Bin Laden mask and crossed the Mexican border? Yeah, they had a film.
It's
of it.
really hot wearing a Bin Laden mask, and
He wore a Bin Laden
that's
mask
really
and crossed the
stupid.
border.
I mean, that's really uncomfortable. I wouldn't want to do that because that's probably smells bad.
Probably does.
What a dolt.
Well, no, I mean, it's just proving a point, man. I mean, if he can cross the U.S.-Mexico border and he's dressed up like Osama bin Laden, I mean, that's probably a problem.
I will do the same thing, and I will wear a wedding dress. A woman's wedding dress with a veil. Yep, there you go.
I can see you doing that.
No. You know how expensive a wedding dress would be to fit someone like me, though?
Yeah, well, I mean, I remember those days in college.
I know. That's why I had a lot of money from my, shady side projects. Yeah. You know, like that album I cut.
Uh-huh.
That mixtape. Oh, my gosh. In bed.
Was that in your 22 dope?
Yeah, when I was 22 dope from the South. Yep. That's my rapping name, everybody.
Biscuit in your mouth.
Don't be giving away that stuff. That's all like, proprietary rights, man. I got like the
It's okay. I don't think this broadcast is going to see the light of MP3 day. Unless something just
something miraculously.
It could. Lightning could strike. It could end up being a really funny episode.
We should just talk a lot of crap about
that free rolling episode. Was just stupidly hilarious. I had to post it because it was just so dumb.
It also got a lot of hits.
It did get a lot of hits.
I know, that's really surprising.
And I'm like, so people are actually listening to it.
Maybe we should just not. You should probably throw this one up there too, because maybe I'm not really that funny, and neither are you. But I think the first 20 minutes have been pretty good so far.
Us playing music. Frantically trying to get a hold of Adrian Paul's handler. Yeah.
Hey, can we just make fun of him, the handler?
Oh no, I'm not going to do that.
That seems kind of rude, but it's very upsetting.
I'm not very happy.
No, better have a good excuse.
Yeah, he probably won't talk to me for another month or so.
Yeah, I've been shot. I've been thrown in jail. Kidnapped. Hospital.
Oh, wait a minute. He is supposed to call you.
Oh.
Okay. Does he have our number?
I don't know. I'm gonna tell him.
While Scott's doing that, I'm going to do some hip hop now. Finally, someone let me out of my cage. No, time is not counting because I'm counting no age. No, I shouldn't be there. No, I'm good at repairs and I'm under each snare intangible. Bet you think I'm into many panoramic view. Look, I'll make it all manageable. Sorry.
Is it Baby Cakes or
no? Actually,
Illinois?
No,
it's
it's Clint Eastwood.
I'm gonna tell him just to call the 800 line. So if you guys are listening, we'll talk to him. You're not gonna be able to because I can't give him the other line because I don't know which one to give him because I don't know which one feeds into that line because there's like 4 lines that go into this and we're only using 2 of them. So if he calls, tell him to use
1-800.
It's pretty good freestyle actually. I was pretty good. Happy with that. A little bit of hip hop, even though it's not mine.
722. What is it? 722-7382.
Whew.
Indeed.
I know, seriously. I'm trying to, I've been shaking off this headache all day. This dead blood headache.
Headache.
Yeah, if you scream real loud for a long period of time, you'll get those doggone blood headaches. Haven't you ever done that?
No. I haven't screamed all day long in a while.
Oh yeah, I've been doing a lot of screaming. Yeah. Screaming gibberish in my car.
I'm sorry.
Saying words like "spliegensploorfen."
It's not. Yeah.
Yeah. I've been doing that for a while now. I got this blood headache, but I think the the stuff is kicking in, making me feel a little bit better.
That's good, man. That's good.
I like how to be vague like that.
What is going on? Okay.
And then everything blacks out.
Let me fix that too.
Alrighty.
NSA goons come in, smashing through windows. Well, wouldn't that be a way to end the show?
Hey, it could be like that time we were talking about the government and then all our systems went down.
That's true. I remember that. Yes. Ought not to sit there and talk too much crap about the government, apparently.
And welcome back to World of the Unexplained. Tonight we have with us the Highlander himself, Adrian Paul. He's done other stuff too, though, folks, and he's here with us to talk about his Peace Fund. He's going to talk to us about some of the Highlander stuff, and if you have any questions, you can always call in 877-722-7382. Without further ado, Adrian Paul, how are you, sir?
I'm good. I'm hot here. It's hot in Los Angeles today.
I bet it is. What's the temperature out there?
Let me have a look. I'm not sure, actually. I think right now it's 6 o'clock. I think it's around 80.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So tell us about your Peace Fund. Tell us about your organization first.
Well, the Peace Fund, peace stands for Protect, Educate, Aid Children Everywhere. It started in 1997 after the Highlander. It's been going for 17 years. We partner with a lot of different underfunded charities across the world. We create initiatives and partner with people that actually have their initiatives already set up. We've been doing that with partners in Haiti, in Cambodia, in Thailand, Hungary, Romania, United States. So it's we've really sort of looked at the smaller underfunded charities so that we see that the dollars we're spending are actually going to they're put to good use. They're put to the places that really spend the money on initiatives rather than salaries.
Good. I know a lot of the organizations, a lot of times they'll overfund the people that's running them and not fund the actual charity that it's meant to fund.
Yeah, this year the charity's grown exponentially, actually, and with Ethan Detmeyer out of Combat Radio, I started our own radio show called Peace Fund Radio, which airs every Wednesday, and it has now about over 1.4 million a month, and basically we talk to different celebrities about what charities they're doing. We highlight different things such as homelessness or child slavery, education, autism, whatever affects children. We discuss that issue. We show people where they can go and find solutions to those issues, as well as bringing in celebrities who may have made that issue, their cause, and we want to know why. And, we basically want to know which organizations are actually out there making a difference and making sure that they are the ones doing what they say they're doing.
Great. Well, I'm gonna offer a pledge to you from my organization tonight before the end of the show to the Peace Fund. So I'll be talking to you about that here in a little bit later. But what have you been doing recently as far as acting?
Well, I'm about to go and shoot a series in England, well, actually Hungary. It's called a series called Strike Back. I'm supposed to be shooting that in October. I've actually been spending a lot of time. I did a film earlier this year called Kids versus Monsters, which was a fun little kids movie, really, with Malcolm McDowell and quite a lot of interesting cast. So I did that, but I've really been sort of concentrating on funding for my company, which is Film Blips Inc. That we have several movies that we're putting into production. We're trying to, and we're just in the final stages of some funding right now. That it looks like we're putting that through, and one or two of them are actually ones I'm going to direct.
Oh, okay, great. Have you had any?
Keep busy, trust me. I've got that plus my Peace Fund and my family and everything else. It kind of keeps you on your toes. And on top of that, I have one of the. I'm in November 8th and 9th. We're putting forward, the Peace Fund is actually putting forward Peace Fund Games, which is based on the Hunger Games. It's a paintball competition for the general public, but also for the celebrities to go through so they can actually win money for their charity in a paintball competition, the first annual Peace Fund Games that we're starting in Corona, California.
Awesome. I'll definitely be sure to mention that again. I noticed that your website's kind of in construction right now. Is something expected to happen with that pretty soon?
Which one? I've got several.
Oh, the Adrian Paul website.
Yeah, the AdrianPaul.net is because a lot of my stuff is on Facebook now. So we've just restructured the Peace Fund site, so we've concentrated on doing that. The AdrianPaul.net one was taken off because a lot of the information was seemed to be old, and a lot of the new information goes directly to my Facebook page, which is Adrian Paul Official. And so people, Facebook has changed the way websites have been looked at, and I'm probably going to restructure it just as an informational page to direct it to all the other outlets that I have.
Okay. Well, the reason, one of the reasons we all obviously wanted to talk to you is about your involvement in the Highlander television series. I'm sure you get that quite a lot. How many it ran for? What, 6 seasons?
Yeah, it ran for 6 seasons. There was 119 shows, I think it was.
Well, I know the 100th episode for any television production is always a really, really big deal.
Yeah, I directed that one actually, and that was a huge deal. Actually, being the lead in it was actually very useful because I actually went $100,000 over budget.
Oh wow!
On the TV show at the time, when you went over that much, it was so the next TV show that we did, the next episode, had $100,000 less to actually shoot with, so it had to be on a budget. So
wow!
But it was a huge. It's the 100th episode, so it needed to be big, and it was huge. I mean, we had double explosions and sword fights and 4 camera setups on a boat, and I mean, there was so much stuff going on, cranes, you know.
Oh, we were all huge fans of the television series. I'll tell you, I bought it on VHS when it first became available. Then I rebought it on DVD. Now I'm waiting for the Blu-ray if that'll ever happen. But we were all huge fans of the series. And that's another thing I wanted to ask you about. It's obvious you keep yourself in really good shape. What's the Adrian Paul workout consist of?
Well, you know, I mean, I did martial arts for 20 years, 20-something years, 27 years, something like that. And I always work out, I always eat fairly healthy. I try not to eat, because you are what you eat. So I try not to eat stuff that's going to slow me down, because I spend a lot of time in the office now. So these days, I stopped about 3 years ago from really heavily working out at martial arts and stuff, because I did my back doing yoga. And then believe it or not, I did my back out, so I did it 3 times, and so it took me a year to get back into shape. Oh, wow. And about a year and a half ago, I then ripped the hamstring as well as my ankle playing soccer. And so I was like, so I've gone back, actually, and I've been doing a lot of yoga, and I've gone back into the gym now to actually do that. But really, to me, it's about longevity. It's not about how big I can be. It's about longevity. You know, muscles change as they get older, so you've got to be smart as you train.
Now, what martial art did you study? Was it Hungar Kung Fu? I'd heard that before. Yeah,
I did Hungar Kung Fu, and then I studied Shaolin Kung Fu for a while. But I also, you know, I mean, I did, I want to say fight. I don't want to say fight. I always say play fight, if you like. I learned a lot with a lot of the guys that worked with me on the show. Some various forms from karate to Taekwondo to, I mean, a lot of different styles came out there. So I learned a lot of small techniques from the guys I was actually working with.
Now, did you choreograph a lot of those fight sequences yourself?
No, we had a fight choreographer, although I did have my input into it. The weird thing is that, you know, being on a show like this was shot 7 days a week when we were in Western Europe, when we were in America. When we got to France, it got to 8 days, so you got 8 days to do it, but it didn't mean you actually had more time because we shot less hours in Europe. But basically, you're doing all the scenes. If you're in all the scenes, you've got to deal with that. Then you've got to also deal with the script that's coming out. Then you've got to deal with the choreography. So what would happen was you'd actually have the swordmaster would put the thing together based on what the character was that week, because a sword fight's a conversation. It's not just a sword fight. You really have to use what the surrounding is and who your opponent is. So a lot of the time we discuss it beforehand. They go away and choreograph it. They start putting it together, and then I come in and I do the same moves, most of them, but my flow of my body, because I do Kung Fu, my flow was different than my teacher, who's my teacher, the swordmaster, whose flow was actually karate, which is much more of a linear fashion. So when we'd have my opponent, whoever it was that week, would come in a lot of the time and say, well, you're changing. I said, no, I'm not changing. I'm just changing my movement. The cuts are exactly the same, but my movement is different. So then you'd have to deal with that as well. So as well as all the different techniques that we had in the show, I mean, we had the Spanish Espada y Daga, we had the Balintawak, we had Korean sword, we had the, obviously it was my style was a mixture of Japanese and Chinese and European fencing, because, you know, he lasted that amount of time, you're putting in all these different techniques. So, you know, it was always challenging each week to sort of make sure that nobody got hurt too badly. I mean, I was getting hurt quite a lot, but
I did read that. I did read that Christopher, Christopher Lambert's character he had a lot of hard time seeing, so he had to wear a lot of glasses. And at some points in time, in some of the fight scenes, they were a little difficult because of the fact that he couldn't see as well as he was needed to.
Well, seeing is definitely a plus.
Yeah.
Christoph, was slightly short-sighted sometimes. I mean, the funny thing was, one time, I think we were shooting Endgame together, and we were rehearsing, and luckily he had his glasses on because I did something, or he missed the parry. I went over, I can't remember, and I hit him just by the eye. And if he didn't have the glasses on, it would have hit him in the eye. So that's useful at that particular point in time. But when you get into you've done the rehearsals and that, I mean, adrenaline does take over, but you kind of have a second nature as to what the fight is doing. You kind of get an idea of it. But a lot of the time, we would choreograph something off set, and then when you get onto set, you then have to deal with the set itself, because you've got, the DP's lighting, sometimes Highlander was a very moody type of show, so sometimes you've got key lights that are now shining right in your face. So if somebody's coming with a parry or a thrust or anything, you've got to be able to see it to actually connect. So, I mean, my eye was split open in one of those cases. I had 5 stitches in my eye for that exact reason, because I couldn't see the blade, I couldn't see the movement.
Wow. Oh. Well, let me ask you about the last Highlander film that you were a part of. How was that? Did you enjoy that?
I'll be honest with you. I thought, unfortunately, what happened was it wasn't finished writing it when we went into production, and we had an issue with one of the producers who had an accident and had to go into hospital. So the producer staff of it was very minimal on the set, and I think it was detrimental to it. I think the beginning of it was great, and I think as it went along, it became more problematic because you've got to know what the answer to the story is before you actually do the beginning and the middle and the end. So there were some issues there with that, and I think it could have been better from my point of view.
Well, I mean, I just know when me and the guys here were watching the final movie at the theater, it seemed like at the end it was like you've got all this great helicopter view of Scotland and all this great stuff in the can, but then you get down to the last scene and it's like a sound stage on a blue screen or something with just a sword kind of sticking out of the ground. It's like, it's like, what happened? Did they run out of money?
There's your issue right there. I mean, you're dealing with the end not being properly thought out, and that's what happens when it's not properly executed. So I mean everything's about being as economic as possible on film sets, because you need to make your money back. That's a simple thing. But then sometimes people come up with great ideas, but if you're shooting in Romania or somewhere else, you might not have that shot that you need. So if somebody comes up with the idea, we'll do it in green screen, or we'll do it this way, or we'll do it that way. So sometimes that can be problematic with the end result.
Now, let me ask you about the Highlander series. Is there going to be another movie, or has there been any talks about doing a film with you as the main character in another movie?
Not with me, no. There's been talk of another Highlander movie, which has been going on for 3 or 4 years now. I don't know whether or what stage it's at. So I can't speak on that, because it was supposed to be a revamp of the original movie.
Oh, okay, another reboot.
Yeah. That's the trend these days, it seems.
It's a Batman Returns. It's the same type of idea. Let's go back to the basics. Let's revamp it. Let's bring it out for the newer generation, and that's understandable. You've got a new generation of people that don't really know Highlander, but in a sense, it really is an immortal type of concept, and it definitely can speak to a younger generation.
Now, one of my favorite episodes anyway. I think Trent, is this one of your favorite episodes too?
Yeah, it was really
season good. Yeah, season 2, The Vampire.
Is that the one Lord Byron? Is it?
It's a one with Nicholas Ward, I believe. I'm looking at it on the internet right now. Yeah, MacLeod comes against Nicholas Ward, an immortal who conceals his murders by disguising them as popular hysterias.
Yeah.
How was that a fun episode to shoot? Adrian?
Dennis Berry.
I'm sorry?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
It was directed by one of our crazy directors, or our crazy director, Dennis Berry. So working with Dennis was always a great fun to do because he was always coming up with ideas and being very expert on the set. So that was actually a fun one to do. I remember the quickening on that. I remember it to this day. Actually, it was. I remember things flying at me, and and his exuberance on the actual set itself. And so it was.
Okay, I think you're breaking up a little bit on us.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah, we can. Okay, well. So as far as your favorite episodes are concerned, what were some of yours?
That was tough. I was working with.
He's in a dead spot.
And, obviously, was fun.
All right, and we're back with Adrian Paul, World of the Unexplained. Adrian, sorry about that. We lost you there for a little bit, just some phone issues. But you were talking about some of your favorite episodes, and you were trying to tell us a little bit about what they were.
Yeah, I mean, the ones with Roger Daltrey was always fun to do because
I was about
Roger
to say
was such an interesting character, And, so I always had fun with Roger. Those were ones that were fun for me. Homeland was an interesting one for me because it was my first directorial debut, but I also really liked it because it was the heart of the series for me. It was the core of who, Duncan MacLeod was. So, I kind of like that one. Obviously, Comes a Horseman was another good episode when you did with the Horseman of the Apocalypse. So, and there was different reasons for different shows being my favorite.
How did you like the way that the series ended?
I actually thought it was. Well, the funny thing was, it was supposed to end with us taking a glass of wine and cheering it to the audience. And I said to the fans, we can't finish a show like this. It's a mythological character that you have here, and you can't finish a show like this. So we came up with the way it was supposed to finish, which was, having the all the characters come back and sort of show that it's very similar. When you're looking at what it was about our lives as people are affected by all the lives of the people that we've met ourselves. And MacLeod at that point didn't really see himself as mattering or having made that much difference. And the idea of the 2-episode finale was really about, well, you did make a difference, and these are the people that you affected.
Yeah. Very, very well said.
Yeah.
So can you tell us anything about this series Strike Back that you're going to be doing?
Yeah, it's an English series. It's been going for about, I think, 3 or 4 seasons now. It's actually it's about. I play a Frenchman.
Oh Lord!
What? Hello, name is I get to play French, which will be fun for my French friends.
You speak fluent French, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I mean, the trouble is I don't speak it enough nowadays. I do speak. I speak 2 or 3 languages, but you need to practice. But Strike Back. It's about it's a military type of show. It's based on these guys that go under. They do covert operations. And I play the head of the Swiss army who's running the team that is around the UN when the UN gets held up by terrorists. So that's the show.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah.
You can look up. I mean, it's a very well-known show. It's not as well-known in America. As it is, but it's obviously done very well because it's doing, it's been in its 3rd or 4th season. I'm not sure exactly how many seasons, but it definitely has been.
Well, you know, the British shows a lot of times too. I'm a big fan of the Sherlock Holmes thing that they're doing, and I've seen it. You know, they only make so many episodes. I think they were doing like 3 episodes, and that was the season, and they were all 90 minutes each, and then that was just it.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, the Sherlock Holmes. I mean, they've done most series. A lot of series are actually like that these days, where they only do 7 episodes or 5 episodes. There's another great one, which is Luther, which is another great series.
Yeah, D is applauding
He's a big
Luther.
fan of Luther. Yeah.
Yeah, I love the writing on that show. It's awesome. So there are some very good shows. And, but it's a trend because originally before, when Highlander was around, for instance, it used to be that you'd do 20 episodes. These days, networks and that are not willing to bet their money because the show might not do well. So what they've done is they go into shorter runs, and the runs will be 7 episodes or less, or you're lucky if you get one that has 15 or 20.
Okay. Huh. Now, Chuck's showing me something here on the internet.
SmackDown.
You were on WWE SmackDown, WWF SmackDown in 1999. Well, 1999. Yeah.
Yeah. It was actually very funny because at the time I've been working abroad a lot, and we went there to actually advertise the Highlander Endgame movie. And on SmackDown they do different types of, and me and Christoph were, the whole thing was like, I want to meet the Rock. Now I had no idea who the Rock was.
Okay.
I didn't know who the Rock was at the time, and so this was a skit, and all of a sudden this guy comes up to me and goes, "Hi, I'm Dwayne Johnson." And I'm like, "Yeah," and I didn't say that, but it was kind of because I wasn't sure who. That's the Rock. I mean, that was a really good. That made me look really smart.
You're like, yeah, I'm Adrian Paul. So what?
Yeah, he's like, who? Yeah, I mean, that's, yeah. But that was SmackDown. I was so amazed at the time because you're talking 20,000 people in the arena. It was just, incredible.
And he's a big guy. He's a monster. They published his not only his workout schedule in Men's Health magazine, but they also published just a list of all the calories and all the meals he ate, and it was something insane. I mean, the amount of calories and the amount of just food that the man consumed when he was as big as he was just astounding.
Yeah, I mean, when you're dealing with, they're athletes.
Yeah.
And they are, they have to consume that type of calories. So, it's a regime, and you really have to give it to them because it's not easy to do that.
Now, do you still do any of these conventions or anything? I know those were popular probably around the time that the Highlander series was big, and probably also a short time after it ended.
Yeah, no, it was amazing. This year, not so much. Last year, I went to them. I still had. It really surprised me how many people still remember the Highlander. And I still do conventions. This year, I haven't done as many. I'm actually scheduled to do one September in Ventura, and I've got 2 others. One is supposed to be in Daytona, and the other one is supposed to be in Winnipeg this year in October. But to be honest, again, it depends on if I work. I mean, the things that with Strike Back happens, it happened just before it. So hopefully that still will go forward because sometimes when you film, somebody says, "No, we need you for filming." You're like, "Okay, well, I've got to do that." So yeah, I still do them.
Okay. Chuck just pulled up something else. A Lost Colony. Was this in 2007?
Yeah, Lost Colony was a cool little concept of a movie. It was about Roanoke, which was the first place where America was settled, and the Sci-Fi Channel basically turned it into where all the people disappeared. There was 105 people that landed there, and then when they came back to find them, they all disappeared. So obviously it became a sci-fi as to why they disappeared.
Yeah, that took place in North Carolina, actually, the coast.
Correct. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay. So that was made. Did that go out to TV only?
Yes, it did. Yeah. It might have. Yeah, I think it did. Yeah.
So now you've so you live in Los Angeles now full time, pretty much, if you're not traveling.
Yeah, I do. I've been here for many years, but it's been my base, whether or not I'm actually here or not. I've always had a home here, and I keep coming back. It's I guess what you call home now. It's just weird in a sense, but I travel so much. Well, I did up until about this year. It's where I keep all my clothes.
Okay. Home is where you keep all your clothes.
Yeah, it's the only place I can figure out. Unless it's my suitcase, this is where I've got 2 kids, so I've got to come back to them.
Okay. So are you married?
Yes, I'm married. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm married for 5 years now.
Okay.
Actually, it's our anniversary coming up. I better not forget it again. I forgot it the last time.
Well, a lot of disappointed women out there, I'm sure.
I don't know about that.
So do you have any kind of do you have anything coming up as far as where would someone go if they wanted to find out what some of the venues that you're going to be appearing at as far as conventions and things like that?
Well, you can find out. My Facebook site has people on it that answer all the questions that is for anything that I'm doing. Facebook is Adrian Paul Official. Okay. So you will be able to find that out, and they'll tell you exactly where I'm going to be. And I Twitter too, which is Adrian Paul 1. So I mention all the stuff. But as I said, the event in November is going to be huge, hopefully, because it's supposed to bring awareness to different charities as well as the Peace Fund. But that's one of the events I'll be at this year.
Now, I promised Ethan Dettenmeyer that I was going to sell something for him tonight, and I'm going to do that. He has a Christmas, a combat radio Christmas thing that he does. And
that's right, yeah.
Let me pull this up real quick. He texted me earlier. He's promoting the Peace Fund Games, and it's basically Christmas to help homeless children. They need money, and this is a great cause. So any of our listeners, go to www.gofundme.com/A Combat Radio Christmas. Because these kids, this is a really good cause, and we really want this to happen for them.
Absolutely.
And also, if you want to donate to the Peace Fund, this is a tax write-off for you guys that need them, like myself. Go to his website, which is actually on the front page of our site at worldlyunexplained.com right now. I don't have that in front of me. Do you know the web address for that, Adrian? Adrian?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. What is the website for Peace?
It's www.thepeacefund.org.
And they can find out there how to give to your organization?
Yeah, there's donate button. We're just about to launch our new site, which is going to have a lot of stuff on it. It'll have our Peace Fund Radio stuff on it. It'll have all the initiatives we've got. It'll have all the partners we're dealing with. Have obviously donate buttons, how people can get involved. We're trying to get people involved in different fun ways as well. We've got a poker tournament with Microsoft we're doing that we want the general public to get involved with so they can sponsor the players as they go through the tournament. So that would be a way that they could also donate, but it would be a good, interactive, fun way of doing it.
All right, that's great. Well, I'm gonna. For those of, I guess you don't know this, but for those of our fans that listen to us regularly, this is obviously not my day job. I'm an attorney in North Carolina, and I have a couple different offices in the state. And what I'm going to do is actually my law firm is going to donate to the Peace Fund $500. So
that's awesome.
I just want to pledge that to you, and the check will be in the mail tomorrow. Well, actually not tomorrow because it's a holiday, but the check will be in the mail on Tuesday. So yes, but yeah.
Well, thank you for that. I appreciate that.
Not a problem at all. You're doing a really good thing. You're helping out the kids, and that's very important. There's a lot of people out there that don't have the same opportunities that we have because of certain socioeconomic factors and other things like that. So it's a good cause, and I encourage everyone to go to your website your website as well as the Combat Radio, and check that out and donate to Ethan's cause as well, so these kids can have a Christmas. It's Christmas.
Absolutely.
What's
Yeah,
Christmas now, Scott?
I've done Ethan's Christmas benefit, and it is a good cause. I mean, these kids, they really sort of get something out of this because they don't have a Christmas a lot. Some of them even sleep in cars, and it's not inner city kids. These are kids that are in Valencia, California, so a lot of them, which is supposed to be a fairly affluent community, but there are kids out there that need help, and in many different ways, and anything you can do is always, you could change the life of a child tomorrow, and in 10 years they could change your life of your kids because they come up with the cure for cancer or something. So it really is important to really look at the kids that are in our lives today.
Now, Trent, I've been monopolizing Mr. Paul's time all night. Come on in here, ask some questions.
I have so many, honestly. Just a little. I was just letting you roll with the Peace Fund and everything. What I like about it is the fact that it's, you're going to the smaller charities, the ones that people don't know about, and that you're basically systematically helping them all simultaneously. I mean, that's ambitious, but that's also really it's a good strategy too to get their causes, out, for the people to hear about them.
Well, the thing is, what we all understand, especially when you're dealing with social media these days, is that there is strength in numbers. And I'm actually creating a space for smaller charities right now with Microsoft, which is going to be called Peace Fund Hub, where we invite specific charities that are doing, they need the help and the resources to share information with each other. So it'll be a place where they're not sharing their dollars, they're sharing their ideas. We found that's very useful. We've partnered with a few before, but we want to create it as a much bigger hub where we actually put charities in touch with each other on a place where they can talk and say, I deal with wells for Africa, or I deal with water in Colorado, and somebody came up with the idea of how to transport it, which might help somebody to transport it in West Africa. So the ideas are there. It doesn't mean that you might not work in West Africa, but your idea could. So it actually could help somebody else facilitate that idea somewhere else, and that's what the strength in numbers is all about.
Yeah, I agree. I guess one of the questions I may have about the Peace Fund, which of these charities have you felt to be the most rewarding? What have you really felt like, oh my gosh, this is really helping out? There's a number of them on your website.
Well, we deal with them as they come along, really. I mean, we obviously, after the earthquake in Haiti, we wanted to help the kids there because I've dealt with the tsunami in Thailand before, where we went in and helped kids that had lost their parents, they'd lost their homes, they'd lost their education tools, that they had no way of actually first aid, anything like that. So we went in there to actually help an organization that was there on the ground. Same thing in Haiti, dealing with Mercy and Sharing in Haiti. They are an organization that actually has like I don't want to call it an orphanage, but it is a place, a safe haven for children who are displaced. And some of them are physically and mentally challenged. They are kids that might not have the ability, they might have lost their parents. It takes girls off the streets to save them from the sex trade. So there's a lot of good that goes with an organization like that. And then, last year I went to Hungary. We funded a respiratory unit for a baby unit in Hungary, which was amazing because I went there to see, the kid. I mean, and the child. The child was so small; it was unbelievable. I've never seen an entity that was this tiny. It would fit inside my hand, and you could see the bones and that. And this unit saved this child's life, little Flora's life. And 3-4 months later, she was released from the hospital at 6 pounds. And I know that it's going to save more lives like this. And another hospital just down the road in the other county that didn't have this had lost 9 children within a month. So these things for us is very important, so that even if we're doing smaller things, from small things we'll grow much bigger. And I think that's what's happening to us now.
Yeah, and it's a noble cause, and one of the things also is, when you have a disaster that happens, the news cycle sort of latches onto it for a little while, and
they forget about it.
Yeah, you forget about it. And the thing is, the whole concept of like rebuilding from like say an earthquake or the tsunami that hit the Indian Ocean a couple of years back. I mean, there are people who are still suffering from that. I also noticed that there was one of the charities involved, like the children of Chernobyl, and how like they had, they still are exposed to radiation even now. And I thought that was a very interesting one too.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff, and that happens with the media. Basically, it's sensation for the 2 weeks or month and a half that it's news, and then on to the next one. And everybody forgets that the kids and the people that are affected by this are still affected years later.
Yeah, it takes.
And we took kids from Chernobyl in England. We actually helped them. They were going to visit. We gave them some vacation time, if you like, to get out of that environment, so that it would lift their spirits. So we funded that. So it's important to understand that these kids and these communities still need help.
Yeah, they do, and they're all they need help until the fight is won, and then in some ways, some cases, it's an ongoing struggle too to continuously do these charitable deeds. So
I'm going to switch gears a little bit just because I'm curious. How many languages do you speak fluently, Adrian?
Fluently 3. I can get by with Spanish.
But you live in California. Of course, you can get by with Spanish.
Well, yeah, and that's Spanish is very close to Italian, so sure. I can get by. There's different countries that speak different Spanish as well, which is tough. But then I know a few words in Russian. I know some in Romanian, in Hungarian, German. But words, like how much is the bill?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Those are essentials that you need when you go out to places.
Now, Trent, when we were in college, Trent took Russian for a while.
Yeah.
And I was a French major for a little bit, and I used to drive up to Quebec City all the time to try to practice. And me and my wife were in St. Martin last week on vacation, and I was listening to some of the city people. I heard somebody come up and say, "Oh, ça va," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, I got that," but I can't tell exactly what happened after that. If you don't practice it, you lose it.
That's
it's
true.
just
yeah, that is true. That is true. Yeah,
I found my Russian.
Yeah.
Russian is really useful.
St. Martin's is very nice. St. Bart's, I like St. Bart's better personally. I mean, it's just, but St. Martin's, the Caribbean, fabulous island.
I went to, we took a boat ride out to St. Bart and like a little guided tour. Apparently, we went in the off season, so every single store was shut down. But we did get to see where apparently Sylvester Stallone stays and where Madonna stays for $25,000 a week, and that's just incredible.
Right beside.
Yeah, that is kind of. I mean, it's usually that place comes alive on the off season for us. You go there, it's Christmas time, it is packed, and all the hotels and the boats and and I spent a couple of times there, and the big parties go on there, and it's kind of very interesting. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
So how often are you stopped in the street, or if you're out somewhere and somebody says, You're the Highlander. How often does that happen to you on a daily basis?
Well, not as much anymore. I mean, people, say it's a long time ago. But funny, today I was at church and somebody came up to me and said, "Are you?" I said, "Yeah, I am." Yeah, yeah, I am. But no, they asked me first, "Are you Adrian Paul?" And I said, "Yeah, I am," because I'll never say if somebody says, "Are you?" because they could be like, "Are you?" Quentin Tarantino. Yeah. Doesn't matter. You're like, "Yeah, I am." And you're like, "No, I met him." No. So it doesn't. It's not quite right for you to sort of. I wait for people to ask me exactly who they think I am.
Yeah, that's true. I've never thought of that, but
Well, when I was doing Highlander at one point, because Lorenzo Lamas was. Similarly, long hair, etc.
Oh my gosh!
I know that he actually, would get, "Are you Adrian Paul?" And I would get, "Are you Lorenzo?" You're the guy. No, I would get, "You're the guy with the motorbike." I'm like, no,
I'm the other guy.
I'm the guy with the Thunderbird.
Exactly.
A sword. I have a sword and a trench coat. That's how it works.
And I pull this impossibly large sword from this trench coat like magic.
That is the thing right there, Scott.
Yeah,
you got
that's the interesting part about it. Where does the sword come from? And as Jim Burns used to say, it's the same place the music does.
You can't wear trench coats everywhere. I mean, it's just, I don't know. Or when you had the regular jacket and then it came out.
That was such a your series created such a thing that a lot of guys then this was in the 90s, we were in college, so a lot of people back then that were in our age group, we would be sporting the black trench coat in the wintertime and stuff like that. It was very common.
Well, at least you had use out of it. I mean, do that in California, it doesn't exactly work.
Yeah, it's true. Well, thank you so much for spending time with us on our show. We wish you the best of luck, and we'd definitely love to have you on again sometime if you got the time.
Thank you very much for inviting me on.
All right, thank you so much.
Absolutely, thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye, guys. Bye.
And that was Adrian Paul. Sorry I didn't give the number out again, but if you've been to the website, you know what the number is, guys. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And his website's on WOTU right now, right?
It is. The Peace Fund is.
Yeah, the Peace Fund. It's crazy.
It's not?
What's on there?
It says website, nothing.
Oh, no. If you scroll over it, it pops up. See, it's invisible.
There you go. You got
That's right.
There you go. That was cool.
That was truly a pleasure. I enjoyed that.
I was a little thunderstruck. I guess it's
thunderstruck.
I didn't know really.
You're starstruck.
Starstruck. Get that?
Well, yeah, we were big fans of the show, and I think that was neat. That would be like interviewing, another, somebody else that you're a big fan of. I mean, I think like Bill Murray or something, that'd be even worse, though. I think, for us. I mean, you don't even know what to say at that point. It's like, we got Bill Murray. Bill Murray. Yeah, exactly. Ghostbusters. Who you gonna call, Bill?
That's not even in the film.
Yeah, I know, right? I mean,
Zombieland.
I mean,
that was one of my favorite cameos.
That terrible film he made, though. What was it?
Shakes the Clown? No, that wasn't it.
That's Bobcat Goldthwait. I wouldn't mind having Goldthwait on the show. That'd be fun.
That's true. Lost in Translation.
Yes, that was a horrible movie.
What?
Yeah, I didn't understand it.
It was
lost in translation.
No. What I did like Broken Flowers. I like that. And I did like Rushmore. Rushmore is a great movie.
Rushmore is a very sad movie.
But it's a great film.
It's actually written about me. I was that boy in Rushmore.
I don't know.
It was a terrible situation. And it was so gloomy. It really was that gloomy there. And I just felt I've fallen so far, Scott.
But no, Highlander was... switch our gears back here. No, Highlander was... We go off topic so quick on the show. It's like, reel it back in. Chuck's hanging onto the boat. Don't fall out.
I'm intentionally steering at...
Getting off topic.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, Adrian Paul, that was a cool interview, man. I enjoyed that.
All the questions start showing up now.
I tried to set the hook, though. I'm like, come back on. Oh, thanks for having me. Usually the guest always nicely says, yeah, I'd love to come back. Not so. And I'm not saying that he wouldn't, but I'm just saying that.
Yeah. Because that, like I said, favorite villain.
Yeah.
See, I mean, it just happened now. Wow. Yeah. I'm really off my game tonight. It seems like.
We did talk to him about one of our favorite episodes, the vampire episode.
We did talk about the vampire
cool.
one. Another one I really liked was
the Four Horsemen one. That was
Four Horsemen was
he
good.
liked that one too.
I liked the one that was like a knight one at one point. It was like a paladin or something like that, and he had a sword fight with him. He was bald. That was a good episode. I like that one. Maybe it was only me. What's your favorite? Besides Vampire D? What else? What was a good episode for Highlander? Thinking about it.
I had one pulled up just now. I didn't even watch that many of them. But
oh, you didn't?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you, Chuck?
Man.
Come on.
Don't you talk about Highlander like that, bro.
Yes, don't.
I don't know. I always thought the ones when the lead singer from Who.
Yeah,
he'd show up.
That's another one I had seen.
He was always so
too.
funny.
Yep, that was
Fitzcairn.
Yeah. Hugh Fitzcairn.
Yeah.
That son of a gun, Callus, killed him.
Yeah, I know.
I was mad.
I was too.
I was really mad.
Well, I was mad how they killed. What was the guy?
Mythos.
No.
What? Not Mythos. Well, was it Mythos?
Yeah, they went to the church, shot him, put him out, and cut his head off.
Yeah,
and
it was.
What?
Xavier St. Cloud. That was
who was it that killed his friend that worked in the church, the priest? I can't think of the guy's name now. That stayed on holy ground the whole time.
Oh,
that was an older issue.
That was Mythos.
Was that Mythos?
No, that's not Mythos.
No. It was the other. Yeah, he's a priest.
Yeah,
that's who Dee's talking about.
Mythos is one of the horsemen, man.
Yeah. The priest was the one that it was Xavier St. Cloud. I remember.
that's him.
Yeah, but I'm trying to remember the name of the character, and it's just not coming.
He came
to
in
me.
and killed. Yeah, I was really.
It's been so long since I've seen these episodes. That's part of it. I should have prepared and went back and watched a lot of these episodes.
Modern Prometheus is what I'm thinking of. That was a pretty good one. That's the one I was talking about earlier with Lord Byron.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that was a good show. That was a good episode. But I had fun with that. That was a good interview. I think we covered some good stuff, and plus we got a good, just good
got
stuff.
The word out on his charity. That's
very important. It's very important
that,
stuff.
How his charity helps support all those other charities.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
because
contributing to Blue Cross, or Red Cross, or a whole host of other real major ones that have had scandals in the past.
Exactly, and that's another thing I could have talked about.
Our next goal is Michael J. Fox to talk about Teen Wolf.
Only about that movie Teen Wolf.
That's it. That's all we're talking about.
Not Back to the Future.
That's it. None of that back in time. Just no, not Doc Hollywood. Just Teen Wolf.
Yep.
So we will be limiting this interview to the Teen Wolf movie you starred in. And
tell me about this movie and how it was so.
How did this impact your life?
It didn't. It was just kind of a dumb movie, and I don't know why you're putting such emphasis on it.
It's our favorite movie here, Michael.
I was in a lot better films than that. You know that, right?
Back to the Future. Y'all guys ever heard of that?
Scott, have you heard?
I haven't heard of Back to the Future. No, what's that?
That seems a little weird. How would you be going back to the future? You go forward to the future. You're going back to the past. What if? Time travel is such a Gordian knot.
There are really a lot of good stuff, and really there's a lot of good stuff in that. If you really pay close attention to the film, you'll see. We've talked about this before.
Oh, about Back to the Future?
Yeah.
Like what?
Like where he changes stuff, little things that change when he comes back.
Oh, yes.
So it's like when it's called like Twin Pines Mall or something like that. And then when he hits the tree, when he goes through, then when he goes back to the future, it's like Lone Pine. Yeah, it's just the little stuff that they put in there I thought was kind of cool.
I'm sure the bell works after the first movie too, doesn't it?
I don't remember.
I think
You mean
so.
the clock tower?
Or the clock tower.
The clock tower
it was
works.
rounded.
Yeah.
Back in time.
Yeah, we've been playing that song because we're crazy.
I hate Huey and Lewis in the news.
I wonder how many of you sports. How many people hung out and stayed after we told them that we couldn't get a hold of Paul?
I don't know.
I wonder. I'm just curious. Probably everybody just like stopped listening. Said nope. Oh well, we're not going to listen to these guys banter for 2 hours.
No way.
Not again.
Why not?
Not again. Yeah.
We're really good at bantering. We're extremely good.
But no, great interview.
With
Very
my vengeful nihilism.
They missed it.
very enjoyable. They'll get it on the podcast. That's fine.
That's
They
true.
can download it. I'm thinking that he's going to beat out. I think he's going to beat out our Fangoria guy.
I think so.
Probably.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well,
Have you put
did really
Manchester
well
up
too.
yet?
Huh?
Manchester, have you put him up yet?
Yes.
Okay. What about Ferrant?
I don't think I have.
You really ought to put Ferrant up there.
I should put Ferrant up there.
Because those are good bookends. I don't know why I'm talking about those, but I mean,
Well,
this is going to be
two of the best shows that we'd ever done.
Yeah.
And I mean, still to this day, I think if I look back on two of the best shows this show's ever put out, it was the David Ferrant interview and the Sean Manchester interview. He won't talk to anybody about that stuff anymore. So we got gold, liquid audio gold.
Audio Gold. That was another name of one of my other mixtapes back in the day.
As Chuck say, it massages his eardrums. But that's fun. It's interviews like this that's going to go down in the history of the show and what the show's about, and how much fun we have with the guests and the caliber and quality of the guests that we
I know,
get.
seriously. I was so excited.
I was too. I hate that we
Adrian
didn't
Paul.
have him for longer, and I didn't want to keep him on too long. I didn't want to get tired of us, but I'm glad we had the opportunity. I've always,
Absolutely.
this show has enabled me to talk to so many people in the world that I've always wanted to talk to. It's only been through this show. Like, I know one of Chuck's great fun times was when, the Board Queen Alice Cridge came on. I mean, I know Chuck was
Stanton Friedman or
Stanton Friedman.
Cyril
Wecht again, yeah.
We could probably get some of those people back on.
We could probably. I'm sure we need to reach out to him. Patrick Stewart. We haven't had him on, but we could reach out.
Patrick Stewart.
Ernie Hudson.
That's not going to happen.
Oh my God.
We've reached out, guys. We've reached out, and we've been reached back at.
I think that hunt is over, Scott.
Yeah, it's you know what? I don't even.
Patrick
if he
Stewart,
called and begged the show to put him. No. Yeah, that was
really
wow.
Really shocking and.
Yeah, that was crazy. So, but it is what it is. And have you come up with anything pithy for Winston-Salem yet, Trent?
Not really, but I can say there can be only one in Spanish.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Puede ser solamente un.
I should have had him to say that. There can be only one.
In French, right?
Yeah, that would be cool.
Oh, well.
Let's call him back. No, I'm just kidding.
Call him back. Hey.
Adrian, would you please say there can be only one in French?
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. But no, I had a great time, and I'm sure we all did. I think it was a good show.
Let me think. I can think of it in Russian. Shtobuy buits skoiko один.
Nah, it sounds better in Spanish.
I put it some egg rolls.
Yeah,
it
sounds like it's got more huevos, in Spanish.
Now, Scott, don't you mean яйца? Which is the Russian word for huevos.
Well, guys, it's been a fun show. We will see you back here in a couple weeks. Well, maybe. I don't know. We might have to adjust that schedule, too. I'm going to be in Las Vegas, not this week, but next week.
Bring your stuff just in case ISIS attacks.
So yeah, I will. So anyway,
blah, 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 blah.
But yeah, we're gonna we'll just check the website and we'll get you guys some more good entertainment. This is Jay Scott,
and this is Trent Lackey. We're coming from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. It's got 2 names
and a hyphen.